Hello everyone. I'm so sorry not to be in Turkey today. Unfortunately, I have an audit for my laboratory, one of them, and I must stay in Portugal. And I wish to go to Turkey in June or July again. For this conversation, I make this small video about the issue of the free information of air quality could get problems to the government and to the local policy and the international policy and national policy. Here in Portugal, we have a grid of measurement stations of air quality and noise, and they are most of them controlled by the state. We have created in the last 3 years a product, a service is provided air quality data for our customers or clients or people or neighborhoods and industry, and they are not dependent on the information of the governments. That means that we begin to understand one thing very important. One of them is that sometimes the data are not coincidence because the environmental issues, the environmental quality have lots of variations in the space. Even places that are distant like 1 kilometer from the other have different values of air quality. On the other side, the way of people management and control quality and KQC, quality assurance and quality control, have a very great influence on the results that we send to the citizens. And another thing is that the citizens, we understood on the last 5 years that the citizens sometimes don't trust very much, or all of them don't trust very much on the data that the government and the environment agency give to them. And by that, we have now lots of small stations of air quality measurement that are distributed by industry and citizens. And on the last 6 months, we had unfortunately some real problems of air quality. That the neighbors of the industry become to be very nervous. I don't like that, and both parts, the industry and the citizens, wants to solve the problem. And when they knew that there was a company that can give them or sell, I can say sell because we sell information about the air quality, the things become easily to be sold, because the industry, when they know that it's possible at a low cost to have this information in their hands, they, for one side on the beginning, they want that information is confidential, it's just for them, and we sell that information to the industry, and we cannot sell these information to no one. It's more expensive. On the other hand, the citizens, that because when you have a conflict with your neighbor or with the industry, even if they give you the data, probably you don't trust that this data is completely true, and they want to get to buy or to get their own data, but they don't have equipment, and they go and go to the companies like we are the unique in Portugal to have these services. They get to us and say we want to measuring air quality with these pollutants in this point and this point and this point, and with that their fear and the increase of the information about air quality can, for one side, goes to the side that confirms that they are true, that they really have information that supports their complaints, or they have informations that are not consistent with their theory or their feelings about their quality, and by that we can make a difference between the risk and the perception of risk, different things. If you don't like an industry or a facility, you will begin to not conscious but unconsciously probably invent some problems with that. That if you have some particles on your flat, you can say that particles came from that industry because I don't like that industry. But when we make measurements and we put that kind of information, when we sell to the normal people, ordinary people from a neighborhood, for example, and we cross this information of air quality with meteorological data like wind velocity, wind direction, and so on, we can say with a very high high accuracy that if that pollutant comes from that place or from that source. And we immediately, when we cross the two types of information, air quality and meteorological data, we can take lots of conclusions. And with that, the fear, the guilty, if you can say, the normally industry, or not just one, but 2 or 3 or 4, or in an industrial park or something like that, that they are on the primary judgment were guilty, cannot be guilty, or we can assume they are guilty, that the problem are from the inside. The question is that when both parts, the citizens and the government and industry, knows that it's possible that all people in the world or in the country or in the city can have access to this kind of informations, and we hope to create free grid of air quality stations that everybody can access free. You have an app for smartphones and for computers, and you can access to the near of the place where you are. When everybody knows that these informations can be accessed for everyone, everybody will be care about our environment. But we have here a problem in all these that I'm talking about. Is in the first time we need to guarantee to our clients that their data are confidential when they buy it in these situations. And when we have the information in the cloud, because these equipments send the information to the cloud. They don't have a hard disk in the equipment. They have a SIM to send information by by like card of communication, like a smartphone or a telephone. They send to the cloud. From this cloud, it goes to our servers, and we have all these protected. I'm not from the area of security, but we have people, team just for security of data. But even with that, one of the biggest problems we have with the clients is about the security. They even now they have some always a doubt of they want to be very must be very clear to them that the data of their emissions are saved in a very security place, because they are free of sending these informations to the population, okay, but they are free to get these informations just for them to solve the problem, and later when things are well, they can show to everyone this information. We have three kinds of questions on all this, and I think I will finish. Is one of them is that nowadays it's possible, and it's our project, to have in Portugal and beginning in Europe, and we have two in Brazil. We want to have a grid, a very short, small, a very long grid of stations. We hope in the next 10 years we have one for every 5 kilometers maximum, meaning that everybody is near an air quality stations. It means that we can map Europe, and we want to map the world about air quality. Second one, the way when people understand, and now it's become very clear for everyone that to have information in our hands give us power, and give power to the citizens, and get less power to the government and to the industry, because when everyone can have it, it means that you get powerful. Because when you go to make a complaint, you have on your hands the data that confirms that you were right when you make a complaint. You have proofs on your hands that something was not wrong. On the other hand, the industry have their data, and when we cross all of these with the national air quality grid, of course things must be in shape. They must be consistent. The informations. It's not possible that my air quality station that is here, like it's imagine like 500 meters from a station of the government, give completely different values, and with that all the system increase the quality assurance and quality control. The challenge that we have now, it's the development of the equipment, the cells that measure, the price that we need to pay, and it will less. In the last 2 years, the things cost less, like an half of the price that we get in the 2 years ago, and we always now have the problem of the guarantee to the clients, the confidence of the results, and at the same time, because it's very nice, but we have some problems with the clouds, with the servers, with the domains. Yesterday, during 1 hour, all the 30 domains we have goes down we get 1 hour with any information for our clients, and after it go up, and we get all the information. We don't lose it, but it's a little bit scaring when we have we imagine 1,000 or more the client people that goes and have no information. They are on blackout, and we don't know how many times the people that have the domains, the big companies, will take to solve the problem. And I think that's the issue that we are discussing on this table. I'm not there. I'm here in my car, as you can see, and talking with you. And I hope to be clearly, sufficiently clear for you to understand what we are talking about. And we are absolutely convinced, not absolutely sure, but things going on this direction, that on first time for the government, the idea of the citizens have these informations was not very good. But when people understand that this is the way and there is nothing that can stop it, it's like a train, it's like internet, it's like social media, we cannot like Facebook, or we cannot like LinkedIn, we cannot like Instagram, but we cannot finish with that. It's the same thing with this. The information on the hands of the people will be the future, and we are making this in the first place in Portugal, in Europe, with lots of people working on the same thing, with but with different purpose. But the idea that people will, in the next 5 years, all of them will get all kind of informations about this street, this own house. We are developing the equipment to measuring not the air quality of the in the outside, but in inside of the houses, the levels of noise, and so on and so on and so on, will increase our lives, our health, and we have a strength instrument in our hands that we can use to force international policies and the national policies about the air quality, and about the way we move on the cities, about the way of the city thinks, and make this strategic about the public transportation, and not cars for personal transports. All of these will be on the table, and it will be possible to discuss this very, very well with data and with accuracy fundamentals, to take options for the governments, and for national governments, international governments, and the local governments. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. From Portugal, Carlos.